I'm joined now by Kent Moores, Executive Chairman of the Global Strategic Institute. Kent, I'd like to get your first reaction to President Biden's announcement to ban Russian energy exports, and also what you think of the UK's plan to phase it out as well.
Well, I think these are important, although symbolic acts. As just about everybody knows now, the amount of crude oil that's actually imported into the United States is not that great. It's a little over 200,000 barrels a day out of a total amount of about 7.6 million. So this is a very small amount. It does, however, have a ripple effect, as will the decision made in London. It will put additional pressure on other places in the world to reassess their sourcing of energy. And even though, as President Biden pointed out this afternoon, the U.S. fully recognizes that there are a number of American allies and partners who will not be able to wean themselves from Russian oil, we are going to see a further strengthening of the Russian ability to export crude, and I think that's the overall objective.
Well, let's talk about the EU then. Do you think the EU will eventually follow suit? And long term, what will all of this do to the Russian supply?
I think the Russian supply is now in some difficulty. And when I look forward, I'm really looking more toward the end of 2022 to see what the net impact is. The EU will reassess its oil import policy. But I think even more interesting is their commitment today to cut their dependence upon Russian natural gas by 2/3 and to do so by the end of 2022. That, I think, is a far more significant commitment.
When you look at the average person, U.S. gas prices are already the highest in decades, and people on the ground want to know who or what to blame. $4 a gallon, can we see $5 a gallon, and how much higher could it go?
Well, it's very difficult to estimate at this point. Let me give you a thumbnail rule that I always use. A $1 rise in the price of a barrel of crude generally translates in a national average to about 1.5 cents gain in the price of gasoline at the pump. We've had over 55 cents, we've had over a 55-cent increase in the United States on average in only 1 week. So this is a shock that's been introduced. Some places are already well in advance of that, and some places are outright gouging. I'm here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I filled one of my cars today, and I just noticed the guy was charging almost $5.80 a gallon, which was well above what other people were charging just down the street. So it's already happening. I think Americans are prepared to pay more. The latest public opinion polls indicate that well over 70% of Americans are. But two things to keep in mind here. Number one, how far does it go up? And number two, how long does it last?
And what do you think about that? We all want to know.
Well, I think we're going to be pushing $5 a gallon unless something happens rather quickly in the Ukrainian situation. And secondly, I think this will be accentuated as we go forward into the summer, which is the principal driving season in the United States. We have enough crude oil in the United States to meet the supply. That's not the problem. The problem is it's going to cost more to get it out of the ground in the United States than it is by importing, for example, far greater discounted Russian crude. In fact, the Energy Information Administration has already concluded, even before the war began, that the United States is going to go back to being a net importer of crude oil by the end of 2022.
All right, we'll have to keep our eyes on this. We'll have to bring you back for more analysis. Kent Moore, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.